Meet Gary. Gary is a basic amoeba. He's 35 years old and he hates his life. Gary used to have big dreams and aspirations, but life took a lot of twists and turns and it's taken a toll on him. He's allowed himself to remain unmotivated for so long, it's become normal for him. He wants to get in shape, but he lacks accountability and discipline. So instead of going to the gym, he binges on alcohol, Netflix, and junk food every day. And he sees people around him excelling, and it makes him depressed because he wishes it was him. He likes the idea of self-improvement, so he goes on the internet every day and watches motivational videos, desperate for inspiration. But every day he wakes up and does nothing, and the cycle repeats. Now meet Zeus. Zeus is 35 too, and even though life's been unfair to Zeus, he still has big dreams and aspirations because he knows that age is just a number. Zeus uses his life and his failures for motivation, and Zeus knows he only fails when he quits. He continually strives for progress and not perfection, so he is constantly improving and refuses to let past mistakes mold his future. Zeus trains in the gym consistently for mental health, not just for aesthetics, and instead of binging on alcohol, Netflix and junk food, he incorporates healthy habits that cultivate discipline and a winner's mindset. Now, you don't want to be like Gary. I used to be Gary. I can tell you, my life fucking sucked. I hated my life. I hated who I was. You know, I had zero routine, zero habits, not healthy habits anyway. I shared about it before on this channel, but I was a drug addict for over 24 years. I'd spent, you know, nights in abandoned buildings, squats. At one point, I was so addicted to drugs, I used to pick up wet Coke rocks from a public toilet floor. Like, not my Coke rocks that I just found. And I used to fucking lick my finger and put them on my mouth. Like, I was a fucking animal, a complete degenerate in every sense of the word. I had no prospects, no future. I ruined all of my relationships. I was as skinny as a rake. You don't want to be fucking Gary. And before I found self-improvement, I thought I was too old. I didn't think I had to try, like, to be in shape, because it's so, like, accepted once you get over 30, 35 to just let yourself go. It's like the dad bod mentality, right? It becomes, like, actually fucking acceptable to get out of shape. It's like, what's the word I'm thinking of? You know, it's popular consensus, if you will. I don't know if that's the right word. I think it is. It's a popular train of thought, right? That's what everybody thinks. Obviously, I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. So when I did finally turn things around, I found all of that drive again. I found the drive and the need and the want to make something happen. A lot of people that, you know, I grew up with, some of them, you know, became millionaires, had multi six-figure businesses, seven-figure businesses. And I didn't have shit. And it's not a nice feeling. Not because I'm unhappy for them, but because of, I knew that I could have done better. I knew that I fucked myself over. And that's not a feeling I would want anyone to have. Everybody has regrets, right? I don't care what you say. To be fair, I don't regret it because it made me into the person who I am. And it's given me a lot of my life experiences that I can now draw from, you know, and help other people, more importantly. But would I rather be having, you know, a multiple six-figure business right now than living in my fucking shoebox apartment? Of course I would. The thing is, though, is that I had a six-figure business doing over six figures. But I was so addicted to drugs at the time, I was putting all of it up my nose. Even when I had it, it wasn't enough. Not for me at that time. Things would be different now, for sure. But you don't want to be fucking Gary. You don't. Like, you need to change. Sometimes it can feel like you're on that treadmill, right? Or, you know, the carousel, or, you know, the fucking hamster wheel. You're just going and going and going and going. You can't get off. You're desperate to change. You're desperate for something to change. Neville Goddard actually describes this, you know, sinning as missing the mark. It's not, you know, doing something wrong. It's selling yourself short. It's failing yourself. It's breaking a promise to yourself. It doesn't matter what it is. You know, maybe if you just want to, if what's plaguing your mind is being out of shape as a guy who's like over 35, 40 years old, and that's the thing that you're thinking about every single day, and you tell yourself every day you're going to get up and you're going to try, this is going to be the last day, I'm never eating shit again, or, you know, this is the last day until I get that gym membership, and you keep repeating that cycle, that is hell. You know, that's the same cycle that I had when I was trying to get off drugs and alcohol. It doesn't make any difference like what the thing is. The thing that torments you and pushes you to the limit, the thing, that habit that you're trying to break, that's holding you back, that is keeping you in hell. You know, self-improvement is not a it's not a young man's game. Like, it's really not. It's for older people, in my opinion. Like, everyone can benefit from self-improvement, right? But the guys that are stuck in their ways, that have been stuck in the cycle for a long time, are the people who really fucking need it most. It makes me laugh, right? These self-improvement guys who are like just turned 20 or whatever, talking about no-fap and trying to give life advice. I mean, you can give life advice to other 20-year-olds, but what have you really lived through? Like, you're trying to tell people to not masturbate every day. That's, you know, the bulk of what you're trying to teach. Do monk mode. Like, you know, you haven't lived a life yet. You don't know what can happen. I'm not knocking anyone for trying to help anyone, like, you know, do better. It doesn't matter what age you do self-improvement at. You know, it's good for everyone. But are you going to be Gary? Or are you going to be Zeus?